My friends, CNBC reports the devastating news. Reddit group WallStreetBets behind massive GameStop and AMC run-ups goes private. Invitation required. CNBC doesn't like WallStreetBets because CNBC is where all these crony hedge fund types and Wall Street types go on the TV and essentially it can manipulate markets and trick poor people into losing a lot of money. They say, WallStreetBets Reddit chat room, where retail investors marshal against short sellers, went private Wednesday. You must be invited to visit this community, the page now states. The forum's members topped 3 million as of Wednesday. The community gathered an army of rookie day traders who go after heavily shorted stocks, pushing share prices higher and squeezing out short-selling hedge funds. My favorite part in all this, everybody loves it. Everybody except the crony establishment elites. But here's what it looks like. You go to Reddit, and right now, you have to be invited to this community. I suppose it means there's about 3 million people who are still able to easily access this and see what's going on. But if you're a layman looking in from the outside and you didn't sign up, like me, you can't see what's going on. So let me show you something real quick. I just want to show you the GameStop stock. It's after hours is at $347.51, my friends. Some regular old people are becoming millionaires off of this. I saw a post from someone, they put like their life savings into it, I guess, and then they made like $1 million. I'm not saying that's a good idea. I think it's hugely risky. And to be fair, there are some of these, Wall Street types who are definitely saying it's a big mistake. These people are going to get hurt. Some people probably will. That's why don't take any advice from anyone here on this show. Anybody saying anything is not advice because we got no idea what we're talking about. We are not stock experts in any capacity. And I think to a certain degree, a lot of people on Wall Street Bets aren't either. However, to be fair, a lot of people who go on TV and tell you what to buy are probably lying too.
Yeah.
Now here's where it gets really crazy. This is the big drop. Discord bans Wall Street Bets for hate speech. And that's it. That's the lie. That's the trick. They've been talking about how they have to censor everybody for their hate speech because they say naughty things that offend people. But what happens when you get a group of people, a large group of people, thousands, tens of thousands, millions, who are saying, we found out a way to take the money from the 1% and bring it back to the people? Oh my, we've discovered hate speech. We better shut down their ability to coordinate. This to me looks like a dirty game. First, they halted trading on the stock market. It was a circuit breaker. So that's when like trading goes too crazy. They stop it. But then we saw that some of these platforms like TD Ameritrade restricted trading. So we know what they're doing behind the scenes. The people at Wall Street Bets even think that there's a coordinated effort to manipulate the market to try and save these hedge funds because someone's got to bail them out. They could end up being in debt $10 billion. I mean, they're gone. Now, I don't know what you guys think. To me, this reeks of phony censorship. Accuse them of hate speech. That way they can try and at least pretend like they have some moral high ground. But who's buying it?
Yeah. I mean, what did you think when you allowed Silicon Valley to aggressively police speech? What did you think was going to happen? Of course, they're going to be using it and abusing it to help out their friends, their family members, the people who serve them, the people who give them money in. And this is huge. According to S3 Partners, short sellers lost $14.3 billion just on GameStop. Not even including all the other ones. GameStop, sorry. GameStop. Exactly. And then other people are answering back saying, no. Short sellers didn't lose. People won and enriched themselves to the tune of $14.3 billion because all the market, manipulators, all these hedge funds managers that are absolutely hated by the left and the right are finally getting a taste of their own medicine. And a lot of people are realizing, hey, it's only capitalism when it benefits them. And we saw massive pushback by CNBC freaking out. CNN wrote an article, how Trumpism explains the GameStop stock surge. Are you kidding me? I mean, if CNN couldn't absolutely hate it when Wall Street hedge funds managers don't get their pound of flesh from Main Street, this absolutely exemplifies it. It's absolutely sickening. When the little guy wins, CNN is always going to be backing the big guy. It's crazy.
Trumpism.
Yes.
Trump's gone. Yeah. I saw a post from someone, they're like, wow, Trump disappeared real quick, didn't he? He's out of the presidency and like, we don't see him, we don't hear from him. So what does CNN do? Well, it's Trumpism. I knew it. We said it was coming.
They're really out of touch because it's just like a bunch of kids. Well, I don't know if they're all kids, but like using Reddit forums. That's has nothing to do with Trump. It's been around since before Trump. They did use that tactic to get Trump elected.
Here's what is new, though, guys. And since COVID, there's a lot of working class people stuck at home. Their jobs have been shut down. If you're in the service industry, you're not making near the money that you used to make. Many of the people have lost their jobs. And so, listen, I don't want to cry broke here because I'm not broke. But I will say this about COVID and what has happened is that I got heavily involved with my TD Ameritrade account. I have one that my financial advisor runs, and then I have my own little one that because of COVID and I was at home more, I started paying a lot of attention to. And if there have been stories written, I think like 16 million people have signed up for their own personal accounts. And so what I think is going on here, they're calling a timeout. Like, wow, we got 16 million new traders. There's some people at Reddit that have figured out. They've gathered up people that have been put out of work, the working class, and they figured out how to make money. And we have to call a timeout and figure out how do we respond to all of these new traders and this new economy that's going on in the stock market. And so they're coming up with excuses while they try to figure out how they stop this disruption that
it's taking their money away, bro.
Yes. But
mad.
Just think about what hedge funds represent, the destruction of the little man and the small businessman, the individual restaurant owners, the individual stores, and everything is Walmart, everything is Amazon, everything's this big global chain.
Dude.
And I think these people, and again, I don't have a full understanding of Wall Street bets and what's been going on, but it just feels like the working class fighting back and the elites calling a timeout. We got to figure out how to stop them.
That's what the NASDAQ CEO was considering today, thinking about holding and stopping trades to recalibrate their positions to, of course, combat people on Reddit. And now people on Reddit are even, pushing their discussions, making their groups private, which is absolutely crazy here. But one thing that you also brought up during the whole coronavirus 2020 year, stock market speculators were the only ones who made record high profits while everyone else was wiped out. People realize this. People understand that this is not right because when we look at hedge funds managers, the people on Wall Street, they don't provide any services. They don't provide any goods. They literally move around zeros on the computer and make more money for themselves. And people are scratching their heads like, hey, if they could do it, we could do it as well.
But bro, it's fine if someone is like, yo, I got 10,000 shares at $1. Oh, it's $2. I'll sell it. I just made a bunch of money. It's another thing when they start putting shorts on stock where they're basically betting someone's going to fail while saying we're infusing money. But I'll tell you what the problem is. Okay, fine. You want to short sell something. You want to take that bet. It's risky. I accept that too. You want to make a risky bet. You know what I don't like is when they short a stock, then they get their buddies to go on TV and go, oh, it's going to be bad. You better sell now. And then everyone panics and the stock crumples. They start laughing because they manipulate the game to make money. This is what they are reaping. This is what they get. And the best part, you were mentioning this with COVID and all that. A lot of these people, young people, a lot of these people needed money real bad. And it took months for the Congress to get these checks out, to even negotiate these things. And some people were desperate, got those and used what they could and did what they did. But there's some people who had some lying around. We just got $600 stimulus checks got sent around. Now you got a bunch of bored people sitting around with their Robinhood accounts, TD Ameritrade, and then someone says, hey, you know those fat cats who made billions of dollars off our back while our economy collapsed? You want to stick it to the man? And they're like, what do I got to do? You got a couple $100? I sure do. From my stimulus, drop it in. My favorite thing about this is the establishment is being hoisted by their own petard.
You know, my favorite thing.
They want to pump out these billions of dollars. $1,400 stimulus checks are coming. And what do you think is going to happen when a bunch of these young people are like, screw it, and they dump it all to target these to short squeeze out these hedge fund managers?
It's Robinhood, dude.
Yes,
that's what Robinhood did. Stole from the rich and gave to the poor, and now we're seeing it again digitally. That's not a coincidence. If this really is a simulation,
dude.
Yeah, and of course
you're called Robinhood.
Yeah, you're talking about an app that people are using. People are using Cash App. People are using Robinhood. I personally tweeted out my my Cash App, and people are like, "Oh, you're selling what was it, shovels during the gold rush here?" And I see what you're doing here, and I'm like, yeah. I mean, it makes sense. Now, of course, I'm always very skeptical of Reddit because I know Reddit could be manipulated. I know the stock market is fully manipulated, so we should be cautious here. And another thing to kind of really consider here is wait until Wall Street Bets, wait until that community finds out about Bitcoin. I mean, there's also another huge potential here of people saying, well, we're going to invest where things actually matter, where they actually make an impact. And this is a sign that a lot of people on the left and right are seeing as this huge merger point of people finally coming together, putting their political differences aside and saying, you know what, everything's rigged. Let's play the market just like they play it.
I hear what you're saying, but you know what I think is more likely to happen is that the hedge funds are going to panic and find Bitcoin because these shorts are being attacked. All right. So I'll try to explain it. I may be getting it wrong because I'm not a stock person. So you guys can super chat and then we'll get to that. But the general idea, my understanding of a short is that, I'll put it this way. Like, Ian, let me borrow that share real quick. I'll pay you for it next week. I then sell it to Luke for $10. I'm hoping that in a week it's worth $1. So then I'm holding $10. Here's your $1 for the stock you lent me, right? I'll pay you back for it now. But what happens when I sell it for $10 to Luke? And then a week later it's worth $100. And then, Ian comes to me and says, all right, $100 is due, but I only have $10. I don't got the stock anymore. So what they're doing is by everyone buying into these stocks, the value skyrockets. And then the crazy thing is these hedge funds who short the stock, there's no bottom. It's a near infinite potential loss. If the GameStop stock goes to $5,000, which I'm not saying it will, then for every share that they sold at $6, they owe that $5,000 and they only got $6. So they're looking at, what do you say, look like $14 billion lost?
Just on, according to S3 Partners, just in GameStop alone.
I am not offering anyone advice, advocating for, or encouraging anything, but I will tell you my opinion. Oh, man, I love it. I love it so much.
I got mixed feelings because it's dangerous for people to coordinate and game the stock market. But it's totally
that's what goes on every
possible.
day.
That's what they do.
That's exactly what they do, bro.
That's the name of the job.
Listen. Look at, who was it? Loeffler and Purdue. Were they the ones?
Oh, they were the ones.
Who they moved these stocks around. Loeffler. They moved these stocks around just before COVID or whatever, and they got called out for it, and they said it was totally legit, and we weren't the ones who did it. Sure. Wealthy individuals with connections and with access always know the right moves to make.
Yeah.
It's just convenient, isn't it?
But also, let's just think about the really wealthy people and the connected people, the globalists, and, I'll get fried for using that word. Maybe I don't know, but the globalists, when they're shutting down the economy, sending everyone home, put masks on, you can't work, they see the stock market crash, and the globalists have all the money to invest in the stock market as it crashes, and they've benefited, and everybody knows it. If you got a brain and you've been following, the rich made a ton of money during COVID. Yep. I'm embarrassed, and I'm not super rich, but I'm embarrassed by how much money I've made during COVID by buying devalued stock and then sitting back for the last 6 months and watching it grow. Yep. It's embarrassing how much money I've made sitting on my rear end at home.
It is a transfer of wealth from the working class to the rich. And when I hear about millions of regular people saying, I got a stimulus check, let's do it. You know what that is? We had a bunch of people storm the Capitol. That was dumb. It accomplished nothing. They're going to charge people with sedition. Nothing's accomplished from it. Now the feds are like, we want more security powers. Nothing gets accomplished. I'll tell you what really scares them. When you go after their pocketbook, when the regular working people figured out a way to stick it to the man, and so they panicked so hard, it's hate speech.
It's our only solution.
They're bigots.
Yeah. Economics is our only solution.
Yeah.
No, seriously. We can't count on the ballot anymore. We can't vote them out. But if we can make them pay an economic price for the exploitation of the working class, then you have a shot.
Yeah,
I'm loving the left and the right together on this one. Yes. I'm seeing like leftists. You got Kyle Kalinske, you got Vosh. They're all like, this is fantastic. Yeah. You got right-wing individuals cheering for it, and I'm sitting back like, yes, unity. Yeah. Thanks for checking out this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. We do the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m., so come back to check us out when we go live. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notification bell, and we are also available on all podcast platforms for free if you want to listen to us there. Thanks for hanging out, and we will see you all next time.